Job, chapter 39. Have you known the time of the bearing of the wild goats of the rock? Do you mark the bringing forth of does? Do you number the months they fulfill? And have you known the time of their bringing forth? They bow down, they bring forth their young ones safely, they cast forth their pangs. Their young ones are safe, they grow up in the field, they have gone out, and have not returned to them. Who has sent forth the wild donkey free? Indeed, who opened the bands of the wild donkey, whose house I have made the wilderness, and his dwellings the barren land? He laughs at the multitude of a city, he does not hear the cries of an exactor. The range of mountains is his pasture, and he seeks after every green thing. Is a wild ox willing to serve you? Does he lodge by your crib? Do you bind a wild ox in a furrow with his thick band? Does he harrow valleys after you? Do you trust in him because his power is great, and do you leave your labor to him? Do you trust in him that he brings back your seed, and gathers it to your threshing-floor? The wing of the crying ostriches exults, but as the pinion and feather of a stork. For she leaves her eggs on the earth, and she warms them on the dust, and she forgets that a foot may press it, and a beast of the field treads it down. It has hardened her young ones without her. Her labor is in vain, without fear. For God has caused her to forget wisdom, and he has not given a portion to her in understanding. At the time she lifts herself up on high, she laughs at the horse and his rider. Do you give might to the horse? Do you clothe his neck with a mane? Do you cause him to rush as a locust? The splendor of his snorting is terrible. They dig in a valley, and he rejoices in power. He goes forth to meet the armor. He laughs at fear and is not frightened, and he does not turn back from the face of the sword. Quiver rattles against him, the flame of a spear and a javelin. He swallows the ground with trembling and rage, and does not remain steadfast because of the sound of a horn. Among the horns he says, "Aha!" and from afar he smells battle, roaring of princes and shouting. By your understanding does a hawk fly? Does he spread his wings to the south? At your command does an eagle go up high, or lift up his nest? He inhabits a rock, indeed, he lodges on the tooth of a rock and fortress. From there he has sought food, his eyes look attentively to a far-off place, and his brood sucks up blood. And where the pierced are, there he is.